Over 350 years ago, English settlers, indentured servants, and slaves first sailed into this harbor, then the new colony of Carolina. They would name it Charlestown after their King Charles II. Attracted by its religious freedom, others would follow. It would be nicknamed the Holy City for its many churches. Welcome as we tour this historic coastal region, today known as the LowCountry, with its unique climate, landscape, and slow southern pace of life that appeals to many, making it a favorite place to live and to visit, with tourists from all over the world. In this video, we'll begin in one of the largest and most well-preserved historic districts in the U.S., take you along the ballast stone streets and alleys, view the 17th and 18th century architecture, including the antebellum houses of Rainbow Row, show horse and carriage options, explore the Battery, Riley Waterfront Park, and the South Carolina Aquarium. We will show all the different ways to explore Charleston from the water, with various cruises, water taxis, and the schooner Pride. Explore some of the parks of Charleston County. Take you to 3 of the most popular plantations for some spectacular South Carolina scenery, where you can learn about the Gullah people, who contributed so much to culture, food, and buildings. We'll show you where you can see and touch some animals. Charleston has played key military roles in its history. We'll show Fort Moultrie, Fort Sumter, and the USS Yorktown Maritime Museum. We then take you to the South Carolina coastline, starting south of Charleston at Folly Beach County Park, moving north to Folly Beach and the Lighthouse Inlet Heritage Preserve, then to the beaches north of Charleston, Sullivans Island, and ending at Isle of Palms. We will provide travel tips on dining and lodging, showing rooftop bars, restaurants, rentals for canoes, kayaks, and mopeds to help you get the most out of your Charleston getaway. So come with us as we head to the LowCountry. It's morning as the sun rises over the Cooper River and begins to shine on downtown Charleston. We begin the day at Joe Riley Waterfront Park. At the center of the park, the Pineapple Fountain. Pineapple is the symbol of hospitality, and you will see pineapples throughout the city. This is the perfect place to watch the morning sunrise, with plenty of benches, trees, and brick paving. On the north end of the park, another nice water fountain, and the Waterfront Park Pier. What a great way to spend the morning. The only thing missing is coffee. But just a 1/10 of a mile walk from the park is the Bakehouse Bakery Coffee House. But you'll want to get there early as they open, so you can beat the long wait. People often refer to these streets as cobblestone, but they are actually made with the larger ballast stones from the rivers of England. Charleston quickly prospered by exporting goods to England, but when the ships returned, they were empty, so they would have to weight the ships down to deal with the waves of the Atlantic. So they used these ballast stones, and after arriving in Charleston, they would use the stones to pave the street. Chalmers Street is one of these streets that still has the stones. Some streets or passageways are paved with brick, like Philadelphia Alley here. It's like you're walking back in time. Now let's head to the Battery. Driving in downtown Charleston, you have to be very alert. As well as being historic, this is still a working downtown, with people working. So you have a mixture of natives driving fast, and tourists who are lost, as well as horses on the street, and sometimes streets that are very narrow. On the right, the Branford Orry House, with Georgian architecture, the first Scots Presbyterian church built in 1814 by Scottish immigrants.
I understand the price of freedom.
We pass more antebellum houses on our way to the Battery. Located at the confluence of the Cooper and Ashley River, at the southern end of the peninsula, is the Battery and White Point Garden Park, a statue of Colonel Moultrie, considered a hero of South Carolina by helping to prevent the British from taking Charleston. A vintage device here. Do you know what that is? The battery is a defensive seawall, surrounded by vintage mansions. The southwest side runs along the Ashley River, and the southeast side is elevated and runs along the Cooper River. While built for military protection, today it also serves as hurricane protection, and also a nice scenic walkway overlooking the Charleston Harbor on one side and stately antebellum houses on the other side. These houses constructed during the period between the Revolutionary and Civil Wars. Continuing further on East Bay Street, the houses get even more colorful. Thus, this area is referred to as Rainbow Row. 13 houses from 79 East Bay Street to 107 East Bay Street. At Broad Street is the Old Exchange and Provost Dungeon, a museum where you can experience colonial Charleston. It's $12 for adults and $5 for children. Broad Street, as its name suggests, is the widest street of downtown. It's more business-oriented than residential, yet still nice vintage architecture. At Broad and Meeting Street is what is known as the Four Corners of Law, with City Hall representing city law. Across the street, the County Courthouse representing county law. On the southwest corner is the U.S. Courthouse, representing federal law, and St. Michael's Episcopal Church, representing God's law. This is the oldest surviving church structure in Charleston, built in the 1750s. That's 20 years before the Declaration of Independence, and it replaced the original St. Philip's Church, built in 1681, but was damaged in the 1710 hurricane. Therefore, St. Philip's Church moved a couple of blocks away to this location, on Church Street. However, that church burned down in 1835, and this structure you see here was built the next year, and this impressive steeple being added in 1850, an exact replica of the original church, now over 170 years later, stands as the iconic symbol of Charleston. A must-do in Charleston is a horse and carriage ride. You have many options. There's Charleston Carriage Works,
Huge oak tree on the left. Look.
Palmetto Carriage Works,
The left side has less cars on it, generally.
and Old South Carriage Company, as well as many more.
That is historically protected. They're not allowed to cover that up.
Or how about a bike taxi? Enjoy a show at the Dock Street Theater, located on Church and Queen Street. For lodging, we stayed at this Days Inn. The location was excellent, right in the middle of everything on Meeting Street. Gives you convenient parking right next to your room. There is an extra $20 per day parking fee. Room was clean, everything worked. Just be aware there's no grass area for dogs. However, this property will be closed at the end of 2021 for renovations. There is a smaller restaurant called The Toast right next door. They have a good menu, and you can call in an order. Highly recommend them. Also, just a couple blocks down from the Days Inn is the famous Hyman Seafood Company, where we also ate as well. Had some shrimp and grits, was delicious. Looking for something more fancier? Further down on Meeting Street, the Mills House, also a Wyndham property, but not pet friendly. For dining with a view, try the Alive Rooftop Restaurant and Lounge, located at the Grand Bohemian Hotel. There is also the rooftop bar at the Vendue, just a minute walk from Waterfront Park. A few eateries on East Bay Street, like New York City Pizza, slightly north of Broad, where you can get LowCountry cuisine in an 18th century warehouse. Also a couple of blocks from the Days Inn, the Charleston City Market, a Greek Revival style market hall that stretches for 4 city blocks, with vendors of clothing, jewelry, crafts, art, spices, paintings, and more. There's an excellent video on YouTube to learn more about Charleston's history by Free Tours by Foot, done by a girl named Diana. It's an hour long, but she gives a really great tour with fascinating info. A must-see if you're visiting Charleston. I put a link in the description below. Free Tours by Foot has guided walking tours for $3. Let's now go to the waterfront area, where many of the cruises are located. At the Aquarium Wharf are museums as well as cruises that will take you out on Charleston Harbor. Liberty Square, located in front of the aquarium, a nice grassy area with a covered pavilion with multiple benches. Before we show you the cruises, let's check out the South Carolina Aquarium. You are greeted by an American bald eagle in the mountain forest section of the aquarium. This is the Piedmont area where you can see a river otter. There's the coastal plain area where you can see alligators, rattlesnakes, and a gopher tortoise. Large tanks showing fish that live off the coast of Charleston, as well as a huge 380,000-gallon Great Ocean tank. There's a touch tank and a salt marsh area on the patio overlooking the waterfront. It's $30 for adults and $23 for children. At the Aquarium Wharf, you can board the schooner Pride, Charleston's only 3-mast tall ship. Experience the sights and sounds of the harbor without the sound of a motor. An afternoon dolphin sail is $49 for adults or $33 for children. Or a sunset sail, $70 for both adults and children. Or try a full moon sail for $50. See charlestonharbortours.com. Also at Charleston Harbor Tours, you can book a cruise on the 80-foot Carolina Belle for a 90-minute narrated cruise in either a climate-controlled first deck area or the observation deck, as it cruises on the harbor, showing 75 landmarks and points of interest, including Fort Sumter. Spirit Line Cruises offers an evening dinner cruise on the Spirit of Carolina with a 3 or 4 course meal for $75 per person. Or a general sightseeing cruise on the Spirit of LowCountry, which departs from both the Aquarium Wharf and Patriots Point, where the USS Yorktown is located. The sightseeing cruise sails around Fort Sumter, Castle Pinckney, the Battery, and other Charleston landmarks. $32 for adults or $20 for children. With Fort Sumter tours, you can sail directly to this historic fort, the site of the beginning of the Civil War. It is $30 for adults or $18 for children. An inexpensive way to travel across the Charleston Harbor is aboard the water taxi. $12 for an all-day pass. It makes stops at the Aquarium Wharf, Charleston Harbor Resort and Marina, Patriots Point, and Waterfront Park, running every hour. Sandlapper Tours offer 2-hour tours and operate out of the Charleston Maritime Center, which is next to the Aquarium Wharf. Sunset and Nature Tours are $45 for adults, $30 for children. Or Ghost Tours, $35 for adults, $23 for children. In addition to Patriots Point and Aquarium Wharf, there's a couple of additional areas to catch a cruise, like Shem Creek Park in Mount Pleasant, which we'll show more of in a bit. But here you can board a catamaran, the Palmetto Breeze, by Aqua Safaris with sightseeing and fishing excursions. Sightseeing cruises range from $25 to $40. Another area for water fun is on the south side of Charleston, at the Ripley Light Marina, located on the Ashley River, near the Scarborough Bridge. Get some cardio while enjoying a drink with Harbor Bar Pedal Tours. It's $50 per person on weekdays or $55 on weekends. Or try a BYOB 2-hour public cruise or private charters with Charleston Party Cap. Speedboat Adventures offers a 13-mile 2-hour tour where you can actually captain your own cruise in either a single, double, or triple passenger boat. Tiki Tours of Charleston offer private charters or a jamming Sunset Harbor tour starting at $65. There is also a pet-friendly La Quinta Inn located here. Makes it convenient so you can leave your dog at the hotel so you can hop on a cruise. Also a California Dreaming restaurant where you can enjoy steak, seafood, nachos, or pasta while enjoying the view of the Ashley River. We cross over the river on the historic Legree Bridge over to the Ashley Marina on the north side of the river. It is here where you can board the Charleston Princess, a large dinner yacht for weddings and private events. Alright, let's hop on US 17 and cross over the Ravenel Bridge to one of the fastly growing communities of Charleston, Mount Pleasant. There is a nice scenic pedestrian walkway next to the eastbound lanes of the bridge. I wish I had more time. Would love to take my bike out and ride this. Just on the other side of the bridge at Patriots Point is the USS Yorktown Maritime Museum. This carrier was used in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. The museum is $27 for adults, $16 for children. Tickets also include access to the USS Laffey destroyer, the Vietnam exhibit, and the Medal of Honor Museum. Also here is the huge 3-star Charleston Harbor Resort and Marina. As we mentioned earlier, this is a stop for the water taxi as well. Makes it a convenient place to stay. Just a mile and a half east of Patriots Point is Shem Creek Park, with long boardwalks, trails, fishing boats in this tranquil town park with great wetland views, very symbolic of the LowCountry. It is here you can rent kayaks or paddleboards with coastal expeditions on Shem Creek, as well as board in the Palmetto Breeze that we saw earlier. Also here, one of my favorite restaurants during this trip, Vickery's Bar and Grill, with a nice scenic patio overlooking the wetlands, or chill out on the beach furniture below with your meal. I ordered some seafood gumbo and took it out to Mount Pleasant Waterfront Park, that's located just under the east side of the Ravenel Bridge. This is a contemporary park with a nautical-themed playground, a cafe, gift shop, and a 1,250-foot wide pier with bench swings that extends way out into the Cooper River. Just a perfect spot to enjoy my seafood gumbo as the sun sets over Charleston. It's morning again, going to head to the South Carolina coastline to Folly Beach, but have a couple of places I want to show you first. We cross back over the Legree Bridge. Just south of the Ashley River is the West Ashley Greenway, a rail trail that stretches for 7.8 miles. The east end of the trail begins at the South Windermere Center. There's plenty of parking behind the shopping center. And a TCBY yogurt. This is mostly a straight trail. The most scenic parts of it are on Johns Island, where the asphalt paving turns to dirt and rough gravel, where the wetlands flank the trail. We continue down the Maybank Highway. 30 minutes southwest of Charleston, on Johns Island, is a famous southern live oak tree. A dirt road leads to the Angel Oak Tree, which has become a popular Charleston tourist attraction. This massive tree is estimated to be at least 400 to 500 years old, stands 66 feet tall. Charleston County has several great inland county parks. There's a booklet that you can get from the visitor center that shows all of them. This is James Island County Park. There is the Splash Zone Water Park located here, open during warm weather months. Also a challenge course with rock climbing and zip line. An 18-hole disc golf course. Miles of paved trails for walking, biking, rollerblading. Pedal boat, paddleboard, and kayak rentals for cruising down the creeks between the banks with Spanish moss. A campground here with full hookups for RVs, and also these nice cozy cottages, which are about $170 per night, plus 14% tax, but they hold about 8 people per cottage. I put a link in the description below for reservations. Just 3 miles north of Folly Beach is Charleston Outdoor Adventures on Sullivans Island. Here you can rent kayaks or take boat or kayak tours through the South Carolina marsh to truly experience the nature of the LowCountry. Fishing excursions also available, or just fish right on the wooden pier on Folly Creek. Sullivans Island Restaurant is also located here, a counter-serve eatery, serving up fresh fish with dining overlooking Folly Creek. On the other side of Folly Creek, just over the bridge, is Crosby's Fish and Shrimp on the right, where on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, they have a food truck that serves fresh fish and shrimp dishes for lunch and dinner. Entering the center of Folly Beach, we'll show you more around here later, but for now, I'm going to head to the south tip of the island, then head back north. Going to pick up some coffee at Center Street Coffee. Pretty reasonable rates and fresh pastries. Next door, Dulce Banana Cafe with frozen yogurt. On the right, St. James Gate, a classic Irish tavern. Folly Beach County Park is located at the southern tip, Way off in the distance there, Kiowa Island. It is primarily a private beach and golf resort. It is $5 to $10 to enter the beach, depending on the day and the season. Dogs are not allowed from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. May through September, but are allowed all other times. This beach is very handicap accessible, with handicap parking spaces and a good modern wide ramp. There's a snack bar here with a big covered patio deck with picnic tables. This was one of my favorite beaches here. The shallow shoreline extends out for quite a ways. A fairly hard-packed beach, easy to walk on. Alright, let's head back north, back to the center of Folly Beach. There are various public access points with limited parking along West Ashley Avenue. The Tides Folly Beach Resort located near the pier. They are pet-friendly. The pet fee is $95 per stay. The Folly Beach Pier currently under construction, with a new pier that is expected to open in the spring of 2023. However, at the base of the pier, the new observation deck is already open. Folly Beach is popular for surfers. In the summer, this is the most crowded beach area of Charleston. Today, not so bad. The spring and the fall, great times to visit as well. Some good places to eat, a couple of rooftop restaurants. The Taco Boy Rooftop Bar. And next to it, the Oyster Room, with a rooftop dining area as well, across the street from the pier. You can rent a moped by the hour, day, or week at Folly Beach Moped Rentals. Other good places to eat, Planet Follywood and Wiki Wiki Sandbar. We continue north up the beach. About a couple of miles north of Center Street, there is an area where you can park right along East Ashley Avenue, with crossovers right to the beach, very convenient. On the north end of the island is the Lighthouse Inlet Heritage Preserve. Ashley Avenue dead ends about a half a mile before the preserve, so you have to walk to the preserve. You can ride a bike about half the way, but then the asphalt paving ends as well. This is the best spot to view Morris Island Lighthouse. At 161 feet, this is the tallest lighthouse in South Carolina. In 1962, this light was decommissioned and replaced by the new Charleston Light, located on Sullivans Island, that we will show in a little bit. As we start to leave Folly Island, on the river is Folly River Park, with a long boardwalk. This park features a dock for fishing, crabbing, plus picnic areas with walkways and swings. Now let's head to 3 plantations before we take you to Sullivans Island. We drive about 15 miles northwest of downtown on Ashley River Road to Dorchester County. The first 2 plantations are close to each other. Nestled on the Ashley River is Middleton Place. If you buy your tickets online, it's $26 for adults, $10 for children. It features landscape gardens, a house museum, stable yards, a restaurant, and organic farm. You can also lodge here at the Inn at Middleton Place, and if you do, your admission to the plantation is free. You can also do a boat cruise for $60 for adults, $40 for children, or a kayak expedition, $72 for adults, $60 for children, with Coastal Expeditions. Just 5 minutes south of Middleton Place is the Magnolia Plantation and Gardens. Here you have to purchase your ticket on site, and therefore can be long lines, so I would recommend getting here early. It is $29 for adults, $50 for kids 6 through 12. For an additional $10, you can take a 45-minute tram tour, and the Plantation House tour and a nature boat tour is also an additional $10. There is a lot more to do here at the Middleton Place, so it might be better for children. There's an animal area here where you can just walk right up to and touch the animals. Unique animals like the eastern gray squirrel or Pekin duck. Dogs are allowed on the property, just not in the petting zoo. There's a cafe here for hot dogs, hamburgers, and sandwiches, and even bottled beer and sangria. Also hiking and biking trails through the woods. Certainly a place where you can spend a little time here. We take I-526 back to Mount Pleasant, where another top Charleston plantation is located. Now crossing the Cooper River, You will find as you drive around Charleston, you'll cross many bridges, crossing swamps and rivers. That is why they call this the LowCountry. We take Long Point Road, another scenic road, to the northern part of Mount Pleasant. The entrance to the Boone Hall Plantation and Gardens features a drive under a canopy of spectacular oaks, similar to Warmslow that we showed in our Savannah video. It is $26 for adults and $12 for children. Unlike the Magnolia Plantation, the ticket here includes access to all tours, like a 30 to 40 minute plantation tractor tour, or the house tour showing the Georgian architecture. This venue popular for weddings, as they are setting it up for a ceremony right now. You can see why brides want to get married here, with an amazing garden area. All of these plantations have educational exhibits on slavery, and Boone Hill probably has the best, with 9 original slave cabins, live presentations showing the Gola culture. It is true that slaves largely built Charleston, and they contributed so much to the culture here. Charleston celebrates Emancipation Day every New Year's Day since 1866, a pretty big celebration that includes a parade. Now we head back to the coastline north of Charleston. The Ben Sawyer Bikeway runs along Ben Sawyer Boulevard, from Mount Pleasant to Sullivans Island, crossing the Ben Sawyer Bridge. We start at the south end of the island. Sullivans Island is the site of one of the first victories of the Revolutionary War, and the inspiration for the South Carolina state flag. As the British approached Charleston in 1776, the Patriots used palmetto tree logs and sand from the island to create Fort Moultrie. Afterward, Colonel Moultrie would design the South Carolina state flag with a palmetto tree. You can see a 20-minute film at the fort. On the north end of the island is Thompson Park at Breach Inlet, where the Patriots repelled the British troops. There are wayside exhibits at this park that tell the story of the history here. There's a little public parking lot, but also a bigger lot of the church, where you can park as long as there's nothing going on at the church. This is a great little park to relax, enjoy the scenery. There's benches, rocks that kids can play on, although not a swimming area. We ran into Jerry and Laura and their son Eric, sitting in a truck just like mine. They live in Mount Pleasant and just love the watery scenery of the region. Also on Sullivans Island is the lighthouse we mentioned earlier that replaced Morris Island Lighthouse. This is Charleston Light, also referred to as Sullivans Island Lighthouse. The tower has a unique triangular shape that allows it to withstand winds of up to 125 miles an hour. This lighthouse is not open for tours, but can be viewed from the road. There is a public beach access point here, where you can park along Station 18½ Street. We drive further up Jasper Boulevard. Home Team Barbecue on the right, highly rated for their barbecue. Next to it, Pier 22, a sushi restaurant. We cross the Breach Inlet onto Isle of Palms. Isle of Palms is more resort style, with condos, more eateries, a pier. This is a more upscale, family-friendly beach. The sea cabins on the ocean are condos at the pier, and next to it the Palms Oceanfront Hotel. On the other side of the pier is Isle of Palms County Park, a nice beachfront park with playground, barbecue grill, sand volleyball court. It is $10 to park Monday through Friday, $15 on weekends, or after 4 p.m. $2 per hour. Plenty of outdoor showers, a boardwalk, and rentals available. 2 beach chairs and an umbrella are $30. There is over 600 feet of oceanfront at this park. The Isle of Palms Pier is great for fishing, surfing, or just viewing the coastal scenery. A look at the northern part of Isle of Palms, and beyond that, Dewey's Island. History can guide us. It is why it's vital to know and understand, to learn from the mistakes of the past, so we don't make those mistakes again, to take inspiration from the stories of overcoming and perseverance, to realize, just maybe, we don't really have it all that bad, to be thankful for our modern day conveniences and our freedom we too often take for granted. And there's no better place to experience that than in Charleston. To go further in depth with Charleston history, I'd recommend this walking tour video. We have also put links and addresses below to help you plan your LowCountry getaway. We are TampaAerial Media. We film travel promos across the USA. For licensing or stock footage, contact us at info@TampaAerialmedia.com. Well, after the summer in the high country, the fall in the low country, it looks like we are finally ready to head to West Palm Beach, something I know many of you have been waiting for. From the low country, I'd encourage you to get outside, enjoy nature, learn history. Blessings to you wherever you may be.